When robbers target Grandma Eleanor's purse, they never expected her gentle dog Bella to unleash her hidden K-9 instincts. Witness the heart-stopping showdown that transforms an ordinary pet into an extraordinary hero. Write in the comments where you're watching this video from. Grandma Eleanor lived in a small, cozy house at the end of Maple Street. Her home was always warm and inviting, with colorful flowers blooming in the garden and the sweet scent of freshly baked cookies wafting through the air. Every morning, Eleanor would wake up early, the sunlight streaming through her bedroom window, and start her day with a big stretch and a smile. In the kitchen, Eleanor loved to bake. She made the best chocolate chip cookies, her famous apple pies, and fluffy pancakes that seemed to melt in your mouth. She always kept a plate of cookies on the kitchen table, just in case any visitors dropped by. Eleanor enjoyed her baking because it reminded her of happy times with her family and friends. Bella, Eleanor's dog, was a big part of her life. Bella was a beautiful golden retriever with soft, shiny fur and bright, kind eyes. She was always by Eleanor's side, whether Eleanor was gardening, knitting, or reading her favorite books. Bella loved to play fetch in the yard and cuddle up with Eleanor on the cozy sofa during chilly evenings. The two were inseparable, sharing a bond that was strong and full of love. Every afternoon, after a morning of baking and gardening, Eleanor would sit in her favorite chair on the porch. She loved to watch the neighborhood come to life. Children would ride their bikes down the street, laughing and playing games. Neighbors would chat with each other, sharing stories and enjoying the beautiful weather. Eleanor would often wave to everyone, her smile lighting up her face. Bella enjoyed these moments too. She would lie down at Eleanor's feet, occasionally looking up to watch the world go by. Sometimes, Bella would chase butterflies or bark playfully at squirrels that scurried up the trees. She was always alert, her ears perked up to any sounds around her, but she was gentle and never caused any trouble. Eleanor and Bella had a special routine that they followed every day. After breakfast, Eleanor would tend to her garden, carefully planting new flowers and watering the plants. Bella would help by digging small holes or carrying tiny tools in her mouth. Together, they made the garden a beautiful and colorful place. Eleanor loved seeing the flowers grow, and Bella loved being outside, feeling the sunshine on her fur. In the evenings, Eleanor would knit blankets and scarves, her hands moving swiftly as she created beautiful patterns. Bella would lie beside her, resting her head on Eleanor's lap. Sometimes, Eleanor would tell Bella stories about her childhood or adventures she had when she was younger. Bella listened intently, her eyes following Eleanor's every move, as if she understood every word. One sunny afternoon, Eleanor decided to teach Bella a new trick. She wanted Bella to learn how to pick up small objects and bring them to her. Eleanor found a bright red ball and held it out to Bella. "Good girl, Bella." Eleanor praised as Bella carefully picked up the ball and brought it back. Bella wagged her tail happily, proud of her new skill. Eleanor clapped her hands in delight, feeling a deep sense of joy watching Bella learn and grow. As the days went by, Bella showed more of her special talents. Eleanor noticed that Bella was very smart and quick to learn. Sometimes, Bella would help Eleanor by fetching the newspaper or carrying the mail from the mailbox. Bella's helpfulness made Eleanor's days easier and filled her heart with happiness. One evening, as the sun set and painted the sky with shades of orange and pink, Eleanor sat on the porch with Bella. She looked out at the peaceful neighborhood, feeling grateful for her life and the wonderful dog she had. Bella rested her head on Eleanor's knee, and Eleanor gently stroked her fur, whispering, "You're such a good girl, Bella. I don't know what I'd do without you." Eleanor's thoughts often drifted to Bella's past. She had found Bella as a puppy when she was very young. Bella had been astray, wandering the streets and looking for someone to love her. Eleanor had taken her in, and they had been best friends ever since. Bella had grown from a playful puppy into a loyal and protective companion. She had been through so much with Eleanor, and their bond was unbreakable. One rainy morning, Eleanor woke up to the sound of raindrops tapping against the window. She sighed, knowing it was the perfect day to stay inside and bake some treats. She called out to Bella, who was snuggled up in her bed, sleeping peacefully. Eleanor gently patted Bella's head, and the dog stirred, wagging her tail as she came to sit beside Eleanor. Together, they spent the day baking cookies and making warm, delicious smells fill the house. Eleanor enjoyed every moment, grateful for Bella's company. They laughed and talked, sharing silent moments of understanding and love. Bella's presence made everything feel right, even on the gloomiest of days. One afternoon, Eleanor decided to take Bella to the park. The sun was shining, and the sky was clear, perfect for a day outside. They walked down the familiar path, greeting neighbors and enjoying the fresh air. At the park, children played on the swings and slides, and families picnicked on the green grass. Eleanor spread out a blanket under a big oak tree, and they settled down to relax. Bella loved the park. She ran around, chasing after balls and playing with other dogs. Eleanor watched her with a smile, feeling happy to see Bella so carefree and joyful. They spent hours at the park, enjoying each other's company and the beauty of nature. As the day turned into evening, Eleanor and Bella made their way back home. The sky was painted with the colors of the setting sun, and the air was cool and crisp. They walked hand in hand, savoring the peaceful end to a perfect day. When they reached their house, Eleanor felt a deep sense of contentment, knowing that she and Bella had each other. That night, as Eleanor prepared for bed, she reflected on her life with Bella. She thought about all the wonderful moments they had shared and the challenges they had overcome together. Bella had always been there for her, a constant source of love and support. Eleanor felt a surge of gratitude, knowing that she was lucky to have such an amazing dog by her side. Before going to sleep, Eleanor sat down with Bella on the sofa. She gently stroked Bella's fur, feeling the warmth and softness beneath her fingers. Bella looked up at her with her bright, kind eyes, as if to say, "I'm always here for you." Eleanor smiled, feeling a wave of affection wash over her. As the moon rose high in the sky, Eleanor and Bella settled into their cozy home. The sounds of the night were soothing, with crickets chirping and the occasional hoot of an owl. Eleanor felt safe and happy, knowing that Bella was there to protect and comfort her. She closed her eyes, drifting off to sleep with Bella nestled beside her, dreaming of more happy days to come. The next morning, Eleanor woke up to the sound of birds singing outside her window. She stretched and smiled, feeling refreshed and ready for a new day. Bella was already awake, wagging her tail and waiting eagerly for breakfast. Eleanor laughed, pouring cereal into bowls and setting the table. As they ate together, Eleanor thought about all the things she wanted to do that day. There was a new recipe she wanted to try, and she knew Bella would enjoy helping in the kitchen. They spent the morning baking delicious treats, filling the house with even more wonderful smells. Eleanor loved these moments, feeling a deep sense of happiness and fulfillment. After breakfast, Eleanor decided to spend some time organizing her knitting supplies. She had so many colorful yarns and patterns, and she wanted everything to be neat and tidy. Bella watched her closely, occasionally picking up a ball of yarn or nudging Eleanor's hand with her nose. Eleanor laughed, appreciating Bella's playful nature and her eagerness to help. In the afternoon, Eleanor took Bella for another walk around the neighborhood. The streets were quiet, and the trees were starting to show their autumn colors. Leaves crunched under their feet as they walked, enjoying the crisp air and the beauty of the changing season. Bella sniffed the ground, curious about all the new scents, while Eleanor admired the vibrant colors of the leaves. As they walked, Eleanor saw Mrs. Thompson, their next-door neighbor, tending to her garden. She waved and called out a friendly hello. Mrs. Thompson smiled and waved back, happy to see Eleanor and Bella enjoying the day. The two friends chatted for a few minutes, sharing stories about their gardens and the latest neighborhood news. After their walk, Eleanor and Bella returned home, ready to relax for the rest of the day. Eleanor decided to work on a new knitting project, a cozy blanket for Bella to snuggle in. She carefully chose the softest yarn, knowing how much Bella loved to curl up and stay warm. Bella watched her intently, occasionally giving a happy bark as Eleanor worked. In the evening, Eleanor invited a few friends over for tea. They gathered in the living room, enjoying delicious treats and sharing stories. Bella lay contentedly at Eleanor's feet, occasionally joining in the conversation with a friendly bark or a wag of her tail. Everyone loved Bella, admiring her gentle nature and the special bond she shared with Eleanor. As the night went on, Eleanor felt grateful for her wonderful friends and the loving dog by her side. She listened to their laughter and enjoyed the warmth of their friendship, feeling a deep sense of belonging and happiness. Bella, too, seemed content, enjoying the company and the attention from everyone around. When the guests finally left, Eleanor and Bella settled down for the night. Eleanor reflected on the day, feeling thankful for all the good things in her life. She thought about the love and companionship she shared with Bella, knowing that their bond was something truly special. Bella lay beside her, offering comfort and protection, a loyal friend through thick and thin. As Eleanor drifted off to sleep, she felt a sense of peace, knowing that tomorrow would bring more happy moments with Bella. She dreamed of sunny days in the garden, cozy nights by the fire, and the endless love they shared. Bella slept soundly beside her, her gentle breathing a soothing reminder of the unbreakable bond they shared. The days continued to pass, each one filled with simple joys and cherished moments. Eleanor and Bella enjoyed their routines, finding happiness in the little things and the deep connection they had. Whether it was baking cookies, tending the garden, or simply spending time together, their lives were rich with love and companionship. One afternoon, as Eleanor was planting new flowers in the garden, she noticed Bella watching a butterfly flutter by. Bella's eyes sparkled with curiosity and excitement, and she began to chase after the butterfly, her paws kicking up dirt as she ran. Eleanor laughed, watching Bella's playful antics with a heart full of joy. Bella was always full of energy and enthusiasm, making every day brighter and more fun. As the seasons changed, Eleanor and Bella continued to enjoy each other's company. In the summer, they spent long days outside, soaking up the sun and enjoying the warmth. In the fall, they admired the colorful leaves and the crisp air. In the winter, they snuggled together by the fire, keeping each other warm during the chilly nights. And in the spring, they watched new flowers bloom and celebrated the renewal of life. One winter evening, after a day of playing in the snow, Eleanor and Bella sat by the fireplace, sipping hot cocoa. The flames flickered and danced, casting a warm glow around the room. Eleanor wrapped a blanket around herself and Bella, enjoying the cozy atmosphere. Bella rested her head on Eleanor's lap, content and happy. Eleanor thought about how lucky she was to have Bella in her life. She remembered the day she found Bella as a puppy, cold and scared, and how much her life had changed since then. Bella had brought so much love and happiness into her world, and their bond was stronger than ever. Eleanor felt a deep sense of gratitude, knowing that Bella was more than just a pet, she was family. As the night grew quiet, Eleanor and Bella settled into their favorite spots, ready to sleep. The house was peaceful, filled with the sounds of the night and the gentle breathing of a happy dog. Eleanor closed her eyes, feeling safe and loved, knowing that Bella would always be there to protect and comfort her. In the days that followed, Eleanor and Bella continued their happy routines, cherishing each moment together. They faced each day with love and joy, building a life filled with kindness and companionship. Bella's presence made everything better, and Eleanor knew that their bond would last forever. And so, in their little house at the end of Maple Street, Grandma Eleanor and Bella lived happily together, sharing a life full of love, laughter, and endless moments of happiness. Their story was one of true friendship and unwavering loyalty, a testament to the special bond between a grandma and her beloved dog. Eleanor stepped onto her porch just as the sun began to set, painting the sky with shades of orange and pink. The air was warm, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the trees lining her small, friendly neighborhood. She took a deep breath, enjoying the peaceful evening after a long day of gardening and knitting. Bella, her loyal dog, lay beside her on the porch steps. Bella's golden fur shimmered in the fading sunlight, and her eyes watched the world with a calm and gentle gaze. Eleanor reached out and patted Bella's head, feeling the soft fur under her fingers. Bella lifted her head and gave Eleanor a happy wag of her tail, her eyes bright with affection. From Eleanor's porch, she could see the children playing in the yard next door. They laughed and chased each other, their voices ringing with joy. One little boy kicked a soccer ball, trying to score a goal, while another girl climbed up the tree, pretending to be a brave adventurer. Eleanor smiled, remembering how much Bella loved watching the children play. Sometimes, Bella would join in, running after the ball or gently nudging the girls who tried to climb too high. Across the street, Mrs. Johnson was sitting on her own porch, sipping a cup of tea and chatting with her neighbor, Mr. Lee. They talked about everything and nothing, enjoying each other's company. Eleanor loved these quiet moments when everyone felt safe and happy, knowing that their community was close-knit and caring. As the evening grew darker, the street lights began to flicker on, casting a warm glow over the neighborhood. Eleanor noticed Mr. Martinez returning from his evening walk, waving to Bella as he passed by. Bella lifted her head, barking softly in greeting. Mr. Martinez always had a kind word for everyone, and Eleanor appreciated how everyone looked out for one another. Eleanor glanced down at Bella, who was still lying contentedly by her side. Bella had been with her for many years, ever since Eleanor had adopted her from the animal shelter. From the day Bella arrived, she had been more than just a pet. She was a true friend and a constant source of comfort. Eleanor often thought about how lucky she was to have Bella in her life. The sky darkened further, and stars began to twinkle above. Eleanor loved nights like these, when the world felt calm and serene. She reached for her knitting and began to work on a new scarf, the soft yarn slipping easily through her fingers. Bella watched her intently, occasionally letting out a contented sigh or shifting to a more comfortable position. In the distance, the sound of a car driving by echoed softly, blending with the gentle noises of the evening. A couple walked hand in hand down the sidewalk, enjoying their own peaceful moment. Eleanor waved at them, and they waved back with friendly smiles. It was these small gestures that made her feel connected to everyone around her. As Eleanor knitted, she thought about all the good things in her life. Her garden was thriving, full of colorful flowers and tasty vegetables. Her friends were always there to lend a hand or share a story. And Bella, of course, was the best companion she could ask for. Together, they had shared countless happy moments, from lazy afternoons watching the sunset to brisk morning walks in the crisp air. Bella suddenly lifted her head and listened carefully. A distant sound caught her attention, but it was just the wind rustling the leaves. Eleanor chuckled softly, knowing Bella's keen senses often picked up things she might miss. "It's okay, Bella," she said gently, reaching down to give her dog a reassuring pat. The evening continued peacefully, with neighbors enjoying their own activities and Bella staying close by Eleanor's side. The sense of community was strong, and everyone felt safe in their little corner of the world. Eleanor felt a deep sense of gratitude as she looked around, taking in the familiar sights and sounds that made her home so special. As the night wore on, the temperature began to drop slightly. Eleanor wrapped her shawl tighter around her shoulders, feeling the comforting warmth against the cool evening air. Bella snuggled closer, resting her head on Eleanor's lap. Together, they watched as the moon rose high in the sky, casting a silvery light over the quiet neighborhood. Eleanor thought about the stories she would share with her friends the next day, the ones that always seemed to brighten their gatherings. She smiled, feeling content and at peace. Bella, sensing her mood, gave a soft bark and looked up at her with those trusting eyes. The sounds of the neighborhood slowly quieted as people settled down for the night. The children returned to their homes, waving goodbye to their parents and ready for bedtime. The streetlights continued to shine, keeping the darkness at bay and maintaining the safe atmosphere Eleanor cherished. Eleanor glanced once more at Bella, who was now dozing lightly, her breathing steady and calm. She felt a deep bond with her dog, knowing that Bella was always there to protect her and keep her company. The peacefulness of the evening was a reminder of how much they meant to each other and how lucky they were to have such a wonderful life together. As the last light of day faded, Eleanor finished her knitting for the night, carefully setting aside her work. She stood up, stretching her arms and feeling the satisfying tiredness of a day well spent. Bella followed her, ready to return inside and settle down for the night. Together, they walked back into the warm, inviting home, the door closing softly behind them. Inside, the house was filled with the comforting smells of home-cooked food and the soft glow of lamps. Eleanor turned off the porch light, knowing that Bella would keep watch throughout the night, just as she always did. Eleanor headed to the kitchen to prepare a light snack, humming a soft tune as she moved around the room. Bella curled up at her feet, her eyes half closed but ever watchful. The bond between them was unspoken but strong, a silent promise of loyalty and love. As Eleanor sipped her tea, she glanced around her home, feeling the warmth and security that came from living in such a wonderful place. She thought about how Bella had been there through thick and thin, always by her side, ready to protect her if needed. The dog's presence was a source of comfort, and Eleanor felt a deep sense of peace knowing that Bella was there to watch over her. The night passed quietly, with Bella occasionally lifting her head to listen for any unusual sounds. Eleanor felt safe and secure, her heart full of gratitude for the simple joys of life. She drifted off to sleep with a smile on her face, Bella resting peacefully beside her. In the morning, the sun would rise again, bringing another day of peace and happiness to Eleanor's quiet neighborhood. But for now, the evening was perfect, a testament to the strong community and the special bond between a grandma and her beloved dog. Eleanor woke up early that Saturday morning, the sun just beginning to peek through her curtains. She stretched her arms and smiled at Bella, her loyal dog who was already wagging her tail by the foot of the bed. Bella was a beautiful golden retriever with soft fur and bright eyes that always seemed to understand Eleanor's feelings. They had a special bond, one that had grown stronger over the years. After a hearty breakfast of oatmeal and fresh fruit, Eleanor decided to head to the local grocery store. It was a short walk from her home, and she enjoyed the fresh air and the chance to see her neighbors. Bella trotted alongside her, occasionally sniffing at flowers or greeting other dogs they passed. The neighborhood was quiet and peaceful, with houses neatly lined up and gardens full of colorful flowers. As Eleanor walked down the street, she carried her favorite purse, a sturdy leather one that had been with her for many years. Inside were her wallet, keys, a few coins, and some treats for Bella. She loved taking care of Bella and always made sure she had everything she needed. Bella, in return, was always by her side, ready to protect and comfort her whenever needed. Unbeknownst to Eleanor, two men were watching her from a distance. They had been moving through the neighborhood all morning, looking for the right moment to strike. These men were known to cause trouble, sneaking into homes and taking things that didn't belong to them. They had heard that Eleanor was a kind and gentle woman, and they thought her purse would be an easy target. The taller of the two men, Jake, kept a close eye on Eleanor. He was tall and had a stern face with sharp eyes that missed nothing. His partner, Mike, was shorter but just as determined. They both wore dark clothes to blend into the shadows and masks to hide their faces. They had planned this robbery carefully, thinking they could get away without anyone noticing. As Eleanor approached her favorite grocery store, she greeted the friendly shopkeeper, Mr. Thompson, with a warm smile. Bella barked softly, excited to be going out. Eleanor enjoyed her visits to the store, not just for the groceries but also for the chance to chat with her neighbors and friends. Today was no different, or so she thought. Jake and Mike watched from a nearby alley, waiting for the perfect moment. They knew that Eleanor would need to cross the street to enter the store, giving them the chance to act. They crouched low, making sure not to be seen, and followed her at a safe distance. Bella stayed close to Eleanor, her eyes alert and watchful. As Eleanor reached the crosswalk, she looked both ways before stepping onto the street. Bella stayed by her side, sometimes looking around to make sure everything was okay. The traffic light was green, and cars passed by slowly. Eleanor walked confidently, holding her purse firmly in her hand. She didn't notice the two men closing in behind her, their eyes fixed on her bag. Jake signaled to Mike, and they began to move closer. They were quick and silent, slipping through the shadows like shadows themselves. Eleanor continued her walk, chatting with Bella about what she needed to buy at the store. She mentioned that Bella deserved some new treats, and maybe a new toy. Bella listened attentively, wagging her tail in agreement. As they reached the middle of the street, Mike made his move first. He reached out quickly, trying to grab Eleanor's purse. Eleanor was startled, not expecting anyone to approach her like this. She looked around, confused and a little scared. Bella growled softly, stepping in front of her to protect her. Eleanor felt a surge of fear, but also a strong sense of courage. "Give me the purse," Mike demanded, his voice rough and threatening. He pulled hard, trying to take the bag from Eleanor's hands. Eleanor tried to hold on, her heart racing. She didn't want to fight, but she knew she had to protect her belongings and herself. Bella barked loudly, her body tense and ready. She was trying to warn the robbers to back off, but they didn't seem to be paying attention. Jake stepped forward, trying to intimidate Eleanor further. "Move it, old lady," he sneered. "We don't have all day." Eleanor took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. She glanced around, hoping someone would come to her aid, but the street was mostly empty. The only other person nearby was Mr. Thompson, who was inside the store, unaware of what was happening outside. Mike tightened his grip on the purse, pulling it away from Eleanor's hands. She felt the bag slip from her fingers, her heart sinking as she saw the money and other items inside. Bella's growls turned into fierce barks as she lunged toward the robbers, trying to protect Eleanor from harm. Jake and Mike were taken aback by Bella's sudden aggression. They had not expected a dog to react this way, especially not a dog as strong and determined as Bella. Mike stumbled backward, trying to keep his balance, while Jake looked around for a way to escape. The situation was becoming more dangerous, and the robbers realized that things were not going as planned. Eleanor stood her ground, her fear now mixed with determination. She knew she had to do something to stop the robbers and protect Bella. "Please," she said softly, hoping to calm them down. "Take what you want and leave us alone. We don't want any trouble." But Jake and Mike were not willing to listen. They had come here to take the purse and didn't want to give up easily. Mike tried to grab Eleanor again, but Bella was too quick. She darted between them, biting at their legs and teeth, making it hard for them to move freely. Jake, seeing that things were getting out of control, decided it was time to run. "Let's go, Mike," he shouted, pulling his partner away from Eleanor and Bella. The two men turned and fled down the alley, trying to escape before anyone noticed what was happening. Bella chased after them, her powerful legs moving swiftly as she tried to catch the robbers. She barked loudly, her teeth bared, making it clear that she wasn't going to let them get away easily. Eleanor watched in awe and fear as Bella chased the robbers. She had never seen her dog act so fiercely before. Bella was always gentle and kind, but now she was showing a side of herself that Eleanor had forgotten. She had known that Bella had been trained as a K-9, but she hadn't realized just how strong and brave she was. The robbers were fast, but Bella was determined. She kept up the chase, her eyes fixed on them, making it difficult for them to find a clear path to escape. Jake and Mike started to panic, realizing that they were no match for Bella's relentless pursuit. They tried to run faster, but Bella was closing the gap, her powerful jaws ready to defend her owner. Eleanor felt a mix of emotions watching Bella in action. She was proud of her dog's bravery, but she was also scared for both Bella and the robbers. She knew that this confrontation could lead to someone getting hurt, and she hoped that it would end peacefully. She decided to take matters into her own hands. Summoning all her courage, Eleanor stepped forward onto the street, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "Stop! Please stop," she called out, hoping to reach the robbers before Bella did. Her voice echoed in the quiet neighborhood, surprising the robbers and making them hesitate. Jake glanced back, seeing Eleanor standing there and Bella still chasing them. He realized that things were not going to go as smoothly as they had planned. "We need to get out of here," he said urgently to Mike, pulling him away again. The two men turned and sprinted down the alley, their earlier confidence now replaced with fear. Bella continued her pursuit, her determination unwavering. She didn't want to let the robbers hurt Eleanor or herself. Her training as a K-9 was kicking in, and she was using all her skills to protect her owner. Eleanor reached into her purse to grab her phone, but before she could dial, Bella barked loudly, stopping her. Eleanor looked down at Bella, seeing the fierce look in her eyes. She realized that Bella was handling the situation, and she felt a wave of relief wash over her. "Good girl, Bella," she whispered, even as she continued to watch the robbers flee. The robbers didn't stop running, but Bella didn't give up either. She kept barking and chasing, making sure that they didn't get away easily. Her presence was a clear warning that they were not safe and that Eleanor would not let them take what was hers without a fight. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the robbers began to lose hope. They glanced over their shoulders, seeing Bella still in pursuit, and realized that they were outmatched. The adrenaline started to wear off, and their footsteps slowed as they continued their escape down the alley. Eleanor took a deep breath, watching as the robbers disappeared into the distance. Bella slowed her pace, finally giving up the chase. She trotted back to Eleanor's side, her tail wagging gently, but her eyes still alert. Eleanor knelt down, hugging Bella tightly, grateful for her bravery and quick thinking. "Thank you, Bella," Eleanor said softly, stroking her fur. Bella licked her face, her way of showing affection and loyalty. Eleanor knew that without Bella's intervention, things could have ended very differently. She felt a strong sense of gratitude and love for her faithful companion. As they walked into the grocery store, Eleanor couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions. She was shaken by the experience, but she was also incredibly proud of Bella. She realized that her dog was not just a pet, but a true protector who would do anything to keep her safe. Inside the store, Eleanor quickly went to the front desk and told Mr. Thompson what had happened. He listened intently, his eyes wide with concern. "I'm so sorry you had to go through that, Eleanor," he said, reaching out to comfort her. "We need to call the police right away." Eleanor nodded, pulling out her phone to dial 911. Bella stayed close, her presence a comforting reminder of the bond they shared. She explained the situation to the operator, giving a description of the robbers and what had happened. Bella sat quietly by her side, her eyes never leaving Eleanor's face. Within minutes, the police arrived, responding quickly to Eleanor's call. They took her statement and began looking for any clues that might help them catch Jake and Mike. Eleanor felt a sense of relief knowing that the authorities were now involved and that the robbers would be brought to justice. As she waited for the police to finish their work, Eleanor sat down at a table in the store, Bella lying peacefully beside her. She looked around at the other customers, who were watching her with a mix of curiosity and admiration. Some of them had seen the robbery attempt and Bella's brave actions. Eleanor felt a wave of gratitude for the support of her community. One of the police officers approached her, a kind smile on his face. "You did the right thing by calling us, ma'am," he said. "Thanks to you and Bella, we have a better chance of catching these men. They won't be able to hide for long." Eleanor nodded, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I'm just glad Bella was there to help," she replied, giving Bella a gentle pat on the head. The officer nodded in understanding, then continued to take notes and gather information. As the day went on, news of the attempted robbery and Bella's bravery spread through the neighborhood. Neighbors came by to offer their support, bringing food and comforting words. Eleanor felt overwhelmed by the kindness of those around her, and she knew that her community was stronger because of the bonds they shared. By the end of the day, Eleanor returned home, exhausted but safe. Bella greeted her at the door, jumping up with excitement as if to say, "Welcome back, we did it." Eleanor laughed, feeling the weight of the day lift slightly. She knew that she and Bella had faced a difficult situation together, and their bond had only grown stronger because of it. As they settled into the evening, Eleanor reflected on what had happened. She realized how important Bella was to her, not just as a pet, but as a true friend and protector. She felt a deep sense of love and gratitude for the dog who had always been there for her, ready to defend her at a moment's notice. Eleanor made a promise to herself and to Bella that she would never take her loyalty for granted again. She would cherish every moment they had together, knowing that their bond was something truly special. Bella, sensing Eleanor's emotions, rested her head on her lap, content and peaceful once more. The night was calm, the events of the day settling into memories. Eleanor felt a sense of peace, knowing that she was safe and that Bella was by her side. She looked out the window at the starry sky, feeling thankful for the love and protection that her faithful dog provided. As she drifted off to sleep, Eleanor knew that no matter what challenges came their way, she and Bella would face them together. Their bond was unbreakable, a testament to the power of love and loyalty. And in that quiet moment, surrounded by the warmth of her home and the love of her beloved dog, Eleanor felt truly blessed. Grandma Eleanor always felt safe in her little house. She loved her quiet neighborhood where everyone knew each other. Every morning, she would sit on her porch with Bella, her fluffy golden retriever, watching the sun rise. Bella was more than just a pet, she was Eleanor's best friend and companion. They did everything together, from gardening to taking long walks in the park. One sunny afternoon, Eleanor decided to visit the local grocery store. She packed her basket with fresh vegetables, bread, and her favorite homemade cookies. Before leaving, she made sure Bella had enough water and a cozy spot to rest. Bella wagged her tail happily, knowing Eleanor was going out for a short while. As Eleanor walked down the street, Bella stayed close to the porch, watching the neighborhood go by. Birds chirped in the trees, and children played tag on the sidewalk. It was a peaceful day, just like any other. But little did Eleanor know, something was about to change. Meanwhile, two men were lurking in the shadows near Eleanor's house. They were desperate and looking for an easy target. They had heard that elderly people in the neighborhood often carried valuable things in their purses. Today, they had decided to take a chance on Grandma Eleanor's purse. One of the men, tall and sneaky, looked around to make sure no one was watching. He whispered to his partner, "That's our chance. She won't see us coming." The other man nodded, his eyes fixed on Eleanor's purse hanging from her arm. Eleanor was busy choosing the best tomatoes when she heard a noise behind her. She turned around, but saw nothing unusual. She shrugged it off and continued her shopping, unaware of the danger approaching her. Back at home, Bella sensed that something was wrong. Her ears perked up, and she began to growl softly. She had been trained to protect Eleanor if anything bad happened. Bella's eyes narrowed as she watched the robbers sneaking closer to the porch. The tall man waited until Eleanor was distracted, then he made his move. He reached out quickly and tried to snatch the purse from Eleanor's arm. But before he could grab it, Bella sprang into action. She barked loudly, her voice echoing through the quiet neighborhood. Bella's sudden noise startled the robber, making him hesitate for a moment. Eleanor turned around just in time to see the man trying to pull her purse away. "Stop," she shouted, her voice shaking with fear. But the man ignored her and pulled harder, determined to get what he wanted. Bella was not going to let anyone hurt Eleanor. She stood tall and fierce, her body between the robbers and her beloved owner. Bella's fur bristled, and she growled again, louder this time. The robbers were taken aback by Bella's sudden aggression. They had expected an easy target, but Bella was not behaving like a normal dog. The other robber, seeing that his partner was struggling with the purse and dealing with Bella's attacks, decided it was time to leave. "Let's go," he whispered urgently. But the tall man was not ready to give up. He pulled harder on the purse, trying to break free from Bella's grip. Bella knew she had to protect Eleanor at all costs. She lunged forward, teeth bared, to stop the man from getting the purse. The robber stumbled back, losing his balance. He stumbled over a flower pot on the porch, sending it crashing to the ground. Dirt and flowers scattered everywhere. Eleanor watched in horror as Bella fought bravely to defend her. Tears welled up in her eyes, and her heart pounded in her chest. She couldn't believe what was happening. Bella, her gentle and loving dog, was showing her true strength and courage. The robbers, now realizing that this was not going to be an easy robbery, decided to retreat. They ran towards the street, pulling Eleanor's purse with them. Bella chased after them, barking fiercely to keep them from escaping. She was determined to get Eleanor's purse back and keep her safe. As the robbers fled, Bella kept up her chase, her powerful legs moving quickly. She didn't want to let them get away with stealing from Eleanor. The neighborhood was still quiet, and no one seemed to notice the commotion happening on Eleanor's porch. Eleanor grabbed her phone, her hands trembling. She called the police, her voice steady despite the chaos. "Please hurry, someone is trying to rob me," she said urgently. She knew Bella was doing her best to stop the thieves, but she needed help to ensure they didn't escape. Bella continued to bark and run after the robbers, her eyes fixed on their retreating figures. She didn't give up, not until she saw the robbers disappear around the corner. Her determination was unwavering, and she didn't slow down until she was sure the danger was over. After a few minutes, the robbers finally stopped and looked back to see if Bella was still chasing them. They were panting heavily, trying to catch their breath. Realizing they couldn't outrun Bella, they decided to hide until they could make another attempt. But Bella was not ready to give up. She circled around, making sure they were gone and that Eleanor was safe. Eleanor listened to Bella's barks and felt a wave of relief wash over her. She knew Bella was a special dog, but seeing her in action was something else entirely. Bella had always been protective, but now she had shown just how much she cared. Soon, the sound of sirens filled the air as the police arrived. Officers quickly took control of the situation, searching the area for the robbers. They found the purses and belongings the robbers had taken, proving that Bella's chase had paid off. One of the officers approached Eleanor, thanking her for her bravery and praising Bella for her incredible actions. "You have a real hero here," he said, patting Bella's head. Eleanor smiled through her tears, grateful for Bella's protection and the quick response of the police. Bella wagged her tail happily, knowing she had done her job. She was proud of herself for keeping Eleanor safe and stopping the robbers. Eleanor knelt down and hugged Bella tightly, tears of joy streaming down her face. "Thank you, Bella," she whispered, stroking her fur gently. "You're my hero." Bella looked up at Eleanor with her big, loving eyes. She had always been there for her, but today she had proven just how strong and brave she could be. Their bond was stronger than ever, and Eleanor felt a deep sense of gratitude for her loyal friend. As the police took the robbers away, the neighborhood began to calm down again. Neighbors peeked out of their windows, curious about the commotion. They saw Bella standing protectively by Eleanor, still alert and watchful. Everyone was amazed by Bella's bravery and the incredible way she had defended her owner. Eleanor stood up, still holding Bella close. She looked around at her neighbors, feeling a sense of community and support. "Thank you, everyone," she said warmly. "I couldn't have done this without Bella." The neighbors smiled and nodded, praising Bella for her actions. Children came out to pet her, and adults offered words of encouragement. Bella enjoyed the attention, wagging her tail happily and basking in the praise. Eleanor took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the day lift off her shoulders. She looked down at Bella, her heart full of love and pride. "You're more than just a pet, Bella. You're family," she said softly. Bella nuzzled her hand, as if to say she felt the same way. As the sun began to set, Eleanor and Bella sat together on the porch. The day had been long and frightening, but they had come through it together. Bella rested her head on Eleanor's lap, her eyes still watchful but now filled with a sense of accomplishment. Eleanor reached down to scratch Bella behind the ears, her fingers brushing through her soft fur. "You're amazing," she whispered. Bella looked up at her with a happy smile, knowing she had done everything she could to protect her beloved owner. The two of them sat in comfortable silence, the events of the day slowly fading into the background. Eleanor felt safe and loved, knowing that Bella would always be there to watch over her. She leaned back in her chair, feeling grateful for the special bond they shared. As the evening sky turned a beautiful shade of orange, Bella stood up and stretched her legs. She gave one last wag of her tail before settling back down next to Eleanor. Together, they watched the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, enjoying the peace and quiet once more. Eleanor glanced down at Bella, a tear of happiness sliding down her cheek. "You saved me today, Bella," she said, her voice full of emotion. Bella licked her hand gently, a silent promise that she would always be there to protect her. The bond between them had grown even stronger, forged in the heat of danger and solidified by Bella's incredible bravery. Eleanor knew that no matter what happened, she could always count on her loyal friend to keep her safe. As the night grew darker, Eleanor and Bella prepared for bed. Bella curled up next to Eleanor, her presence a comforting reminder of the day's events. Eleanor felt a deep sense of gratitude, knowing that she had such a wonderful and brave dog by her side. In the quiet of the night, Eleanor drifted off to sleep with a smile on her face. She dreamed of peaceful days and happy times with Bella, knowing that together, they could face anything. Bella stayed awake a little longer, keeping watch over her beloved owner, always ready to protect her no matter what. The morning sun would rise again, bringing new days and new adventures for Eleanor and Bella. But for now, they rested peacefully, their hearts connected by love and trust. Bella was not just a dog, she was a hero, a protector, and a cherished member of the family. Eleanor woke up the next morning feeling refreshed and safe. She stretched and smiled as she saw Bella still sleeping peacefully beside her. The events of the previous day felt like a distant memory, but the bond they had strengthened remained strong. As Eleanor got ready for the day, she couldn't help but think about how lucky she was to have Bella. She made breakfast, carefully setting a bowl of food for Bella, who wagged her tail in appreciation. Together, they enjoyed a quiet morning, the peacefulness restored to their home. Eleanor decided to share the story of what had happened with her neighbors. She wanted everyone to know just how brave Bella was and to thank her for protecting her so fiercely. As she walked through the neighborhood, she saw smiles and heard words of praise for Bella. People gathered around Eleanor, asking questions and offering congratulations. Eleanor beamed with pride as she told them about Bella's heroic actions. Bella stood proudly by her side, happy to receive the attention and love from the community. One neighbor, Mr. Thompson, who lived down the street, patted Bella on the head. "You did an amazing job, Bella," he said kindly. Bella wagged her tail, enjoying the praise. Eleanor felt a warm glow in her heart, knowing that Bella's bravery had touched so many people. As the day went on, Eleanor and Bella continued their routine, but everything felt a little different now. There was a sense of respect and admiration in the air, and Eleanor couldn't help but feel proud of her loyal friend. Bella had shown everyone just how special she was, and Eleanor knew that their bond was unbreakable. Later that evening, Eleanor decided to cook Bella's favorite meal, chicken and rice. She wanted to treat Bella for her hard work and bravery. As they sat down to eat, Eleanor looked into Bella's eyes and felt a deep sense of love and gratitude. "Thank you, Bella," Eleanor said softly. "You're the best dog anyone could ever ask for." Bella licked Eleanor's hand, her eyes shining with happiness. They enjoyed their meal together, the warmth of their friendship filling the room. After dinner, Eleanor and Bella took a walk around the neighborhood. The sun was setting, casting a beautiful golden light over everything. Birds flew back to their nests, and the streets were quiet once more. It was a perfect end to a day that had been filled with both fear and bravery. As they walked, Eleanor thought about how Bella had changed her life. She had always known Bella was special, but seeing her in action had shown her just how much she meant to her. Bella was not just a pet, she was a guardian, a friend, and a true hero. They reached the park where they often went for walks. Eleanor sat down on a bench, and Bella curled up beside her, resting her head on Eleanor's lap. The two of them enjoyed the peacefulness of the evening, the stars beginning to twinkle in the sky above. Eleanor reached out and stroked Bella's fur, feeling the soft, comforting touch. "You're amazing, Bella," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. Bella looked up at her with her big, loving eyes, as if to say she felt the same way. They sat together in silence, the bond between them stronger than ever. Eleanor felt a sense of peace, knowing that no matter what happened, Bella would always be there to protect her. She leaned back, closing her eyes and enjoying the quiet moment with her loyal friend. As the night grew darker, Eleanor and Bella made their way back home. The house felt even more like a safe haven now, knowing that Bella was always there to watch over her. They settled into their cozy living room, ready to rest after a long day. Eleanor tucked herself into bed, with Bella lying peacefully beside her. She felt safe and loved, knowing that Bella would always be by her side. Bella gave one last wag of her tail before closing her eyes, ready to dream of happy times with her beloved owner. In the stillness of the night, Eleanor drifted off to sleep, comforted by the presence of her faithful dog. She dreamed of sunny days and peaceful nights, knowing that Bella would always be there to protect her and keep her safe. The next morning, Eleanor woke up feeling refreshed and happy. She looked over at Bella, who was already awake and ready for the day. Bella wagged her tail, eager to start a new day with her beloved owner. Eleanor smiled, feeling grateful for the special bond they shared. As Eleanor got ready for another day, she thought about how Bella had saved her. She knew that their lives would never be the same, and she was thankful for the courage and loyalty Bella had shown. Bella was not just a dog, she was a hero, and Eleanor loved her more than ever. Eleanor decided to take Bella to the park again, wanting to enjoy the beautiful day together. They walked side by side, the sun shining down on them. Bella ran ahead, playing with other dogs and enjoying the fresh air. Eleanor watched her with a smile, feeling happy and content. At the park, Eleanor saw familiar faces and waved to her neighbors. They all admired Bella, praising her for her bravery. Eleanor felt proud, knowing that Bella had made a difference in their lives. Bella enjoyed the attention, basking in the love and admiration from everyone around her. As the day went on, Eleanor and Bella continued their walk, enjoying each other's company. They talked about the events of the previous day, with Eleanor expressing her gratitude for Bella's protection. Bella listened attentively, her eyes filled with love and loyalty. They sat down on a bench, watching the children play and the birds fly overhead. Eleanor reached down to pet Bella, feeling the softness of her fur and the warmth of her presence. She knew that no matter what challenges they faced, they would always be there for each other. As the sun began to set, Eleanor and Bella made their way back home, feeling happy and fulfilled. The day had been wonderful, filled with love, gratitude, and the unbreakable bond they shared. They settled into their evening routine, enjoying the peacefulness of their home once more. Eleanor knew that life could be unpredictable, but with Bella by her side, she felt ready to face anything. Bella had proven her bravery and loyalty, and Eleanor felt a deep sense of pride and love for her faithful friend. Together, they were an unstoppable team, ready to take on whatever the future held. That night, as Eleanor and Bella drifted off to sleep, they both felt a sense of security and happiness. Bella was more than just a pet, she was a guardian and a beloved member of the family. Eleanor knew that with Bella by her side, she would always be safe and loved. In the days that followed, Eleanor and Bella continued their life together, stronger and closer than ever. They enjoyed their daily routines, cherishing each moment and the special bond they shared. Bella's bravery had brought them even closer, and Eleanor felt blessed to have such an incredible dog in her life. Eleanor often thought about how Bella had changed her life. She realized that having a loyal and brave dog made everything better. Bella was always there to protect her, to comfort her, and to share in the joys and sorrows of life. Eleanor couldn't imagine her life without Bella, and she was grateful every day for her faithful companion. As time went on, Bella continued to be a hero in Eleanor's eyes. She was always alert, always ready to protect, and always loving. Eleanor knew that no matter what happened, Bella would be there to keep her safe and to share in the love they had for each other. Their bond was unbreakable, built on trust, love, and loyalty. Bella was more than just a dog, she was a true friend and a guardian. Eleanor felt blessed to have such a wonderful companion, and she cherished every moment they spent together. One day, Eleanor decided to tell everyone in the neighborhood about Bella's bravery. She wanted to make sure that everyone knew just how special her dog was. She invited her neighbors over for a small gathering, sharing the story of how Bella had saved her from the robbers. As the neighbors listened, they were amazed by Bella's actions. They couldn't believe that such a gentle and loving dog could be so brave and strong. Eleanor smiled, feeling proud of Bella and grateful for the support of her community. After the story, the neighbors gathered around Bella, petting her and praising her for her heroism. Bella enjoyed the attention, wagging her tail happily and basking in the love and admiration from everyone around her. Eleanor felt a deep sense of pride and happiness, knowing that Bella was appreciated and loved by so many people. As the gathering came to an end, Eleanor and Bella thanked their neighbors for their support. They felt a strong sense of community and friendship, knowing that they were surrounded by people who cared. Bella gave one last wag of her tail, happy to be surrounded by so much love. Eleanor and Bella continued their lives together, stronger and closer than ever. They enjoyed each day, knowing that their bond was unbreakable and that they could always count on each other. Bella's bravery had brought them even closer, and Eleanor felt blessed to have such a loyal and loving dog by her side. In the years that followed, Eleanor and Bella faced many more days together, always supporting and loving each other. Their bond remained strong, a testament to the love and loyalty they shared. Bella continued to be a hero, protecting Eleanor and bringing joy and comfort to her life every day. Eleanor knew that Bella was truly special, a dog like no other. She was grateful for every moment they shared, cherishing the love and companionship that Bella provided. Together, they enjoyed a life filled with happiness, love, and the unbreakable bond of a grandmother and her beloved dog. And so, Grandma Eleanor and Bella lived happily ever after, their hearts forever connected by the love and loyalty they shared. Bella remained a hero in Eleanor's eyes, always ready to protect and love her beloved owner. Their story was one of bravery, love, and the special bond between a grandmother and her faithful dog. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across Grandma Eleanor's front yard. Bella, the gentle dog, was resting peacefully by the porch, enjoying the cool evening air. Eleanor was inside, finishing up some knitting. Everything seemed calm and safe in their quiet neighborhood. Suddenly, two men appeared at the end of the street. They wore dark clothes and had masks over their faces. They looked around nervously, trying to find the perfect house to rob. Their eyes landed on Grandma Eleanor's house. It was the perfect target, quiet, with no one watching. One of the men whispered to the other, "There she is. Let's go." They moved quickly toward the house, their steps silent on the pavement. Eleanor stepped out to buy some groceries, holding her purse tightly. She didn't see the robbers coming. Bella noticed something was wrong. Her ears perked up, and she stood up, her eyes fixed on the intruders. The robbers reached the porch. One of them reached out to snatch Eleanor's purse, while the other kept watch. Just as the purse was about to be grabbed, Bella sprang into action. She barked loudly, the sound echoing through the quiet evening. The robbers were startled. They hadn't expected a dog to react so fiercely. The first robber tried to grab the purse again, but Bella was too quick. She lunged forward, her teeth bared, and growled loudly. The robber yelped in surprise and tried to pull his hand back, but Bella was relentless. She stood between him and Eleanor, protecting her with everything she had. The second robber, seeing Bella's fierce defense, began to panic. He looked around, trying to find a way out, but Bella was already on him. She jumped up, pushing him away from Eleanor, barking louder than ever. The robbers realized they were in trouble. They had thought this was an easy job, but Bella was proving to be a formidable opponent. Bella didn't give up. She kept barking and growling, never letting the robbers get close to Eleanor. Her training as a K-9 was evident in every move she made. She was strong, determined, and incredibly brave. The robbers started to back away, their confidence shaken by Bella's unexpected aggression. Eleanor watched in awe as Bella protected her. She had always known Bella was special, but she had never seen her act like this before. Tears welled up in Eleanor's eyes as she realized just how much Bella cared for her. She knew Bella would do anything to keep her safe. The robbers tried to think of a way to escape, but Bella was too smart for them. She followed their every move, making sure they couldn't get away. One robber tried to run around the side of the house, but Bella was right behind him, barking and blocking his path. The other robber attempted to climb over the fence, but Bella was already at the top, preventing him from getting away. Eleanor could hear the sounds of sirens in the distance. The robbers knew the police were on their way, and they were getting more desperate by the second. They started to argue with each other, blaming Bella for ruining their plan. One of them said, "This dog is crazy. Let's get out of here." The other nodded, and they both turned to flee in opposite directions. But Bella wasn't done yet. She chased after the first robber, keeping him in sight. Her powerful legs carried her quickly, and her sharp eyes never left him. The robber stumbled on the pavement, trying to keep up with Bella, but he couldn't escape her. She barked louder, making sure everyone knew that these robbers were not welcome. The second robber tried to climb down the fence again, but Bella was right there, making it impossible for him to escape. She jumped up, her body blocking his way, and barked fiercely. The robber froze, realizing there was no way out. He looked at Bella, fear in his eyes, and then back at his partner. "We need to leave," he whispered urgently. The two robbers exchanged worried glances, knowing they were outmatched by the loyal dog. They decided to abandon their plan and run away, but Bella wasn't letting them off that easily. She followed them until they were out of sight, making sure they wouldn't come back. Eleanor felt a wave of gratitude and relief wash over her. She rushed to Bella, hugging her tightly. "Thank you, Bella," she whispered, tears of joy streaming down her face. Bella wagged her tail gently, her eyes shining with pride and love. She had protected her grandma with everything she had, just like she was trained to do. The neighborhood was buzzing with activity as the police arrived. Neighbors came out of their homes, talking excitedly about what had happened. They couldn't believe how brave Bella had been. Some people clapped and cheered for her, while others took pictures to remember the heroic dog. One of the officers approached Eleanor, smiling warmly. "Good job, Bella," he said, patting her on the head. Eleanor smiled back, feeling proud of her loyal companion. She knew that without Bella, things could have turned out very differently. As the robbers were led away in handcuffs, the neighbors continued to talk about Bella's bravery. They couldn't stop praising her for protecting Eleanor and stopping the robbers. Bella stood tall, her chest puffed out, knowing she had done the right thing. Eleanor knelt down and gave Bella another hug. "You're my hero, Bella," she said softly. Bella looked up at her with loving eyes, happy to have kept her grandma safe. The bond between them was stronger than ever, and Eleanor felt blessed to have such a wonderful dog by her side. The sun had set completely now, and the sky was dark with stars twinkling above. Bella and Eleanor walked back inside, the events of the evening still fresh in their minds. Inside, the house felt even warmer and safer than before. Eleanor made a special treat for Bella, and they sat together on the porch, enjoying the peaceful night. As they settled in, Eleanor thought about how lucky she was to have Bella. She knew that Bella's training had prepared her for moments like this, but she also knew that Bella's love and loyalty made all the difference. The two of them sat together, a perfect team, ready to face whatever challenges might come their way. Bella rested her head on Eleanor's lap, feeling content and happy. She had done her job well, protecting her grandma and their home. Eleanor stroked her fur gently, whispering words of love and gratitude. The night was calm, and the two of them enjoyed the quiet together, knowing that they could always count on each other. In the days that followed, Bella became a local hero. The story of how she had saved Eleanor spread through the neighborhood, and everyone admired her bravery. Children would come by to pet her, and neighbors would thank her for keeping their community safe. Bella didn't mind the attention, she was just happy to help her grandma and make everyone else feel safe too. Eleanor continued her daily routines, always with Bella by her side. They spent their mornings in the garden, planting flowers and vegetables, and their afternoons enjoying peaceful walks around the neighborhood. The bond between them grew even stronger, built on trust, love, and countless shared moments. Sometimes, Eleanor would tell Bella stories about when she was younger, about how Bella used to be a K-9 officer and how brave she had been. Bella listened attentively, her eyes full of understanding and love. Even though Bella wasn't working as a K-9 anymore, her heart was still full of the courage and loyalty that made her such a special dog. One evening, as they sat together watching the sunset, Eleanor looked at Bella and said, "You know, Bella, you're more than just a pet. You're my family, my protector, and my best friend." Bella wagged her tail, leaning closer to Eleanor, showing that she felt the same way. They sat together in silence, enjoying the beauty of the moment, knowing that they were stronger together than they could ever be apart. Bella's actions that night had not only protected Eleanor, but had also brought the community closer together. Neighbors started to look out for one another more, feeling a sense of unity and support. The presence of such a brave and loving dog reminded everyone of the importance of kindness, courage, and looking out for those we care about. As the years passed, Bella continued to be a source of comfort and protection for Eleanor. She aged gracefully, her once sharp eyes now gentle and wise. But her spirit remained as strong as ever, always ready to stand by Eleanor's side. Their home was filled with love and happiness, a testament to the incredible bond they shared. One day, a new family moved into the neighborhood. They had a young boy who was shy and scared, having recently lost his parents. The boy was lonely and didn't have many friends. Bella sensed his sadness and took it upon herself to be his friend. She greeted him warmly every day, her presence bringing a smile to his face. Slowly, the boy began to open up, finding comfort in Bella's companionship. Eleanor watched as Bella helped the boy find joy again. She realized that Bella's role in the community went beyond just protecting her. Bella was a beacon of hope and love, touching the lives of everyone she met. Eleanor felt proud and grateful to have such an incredible dog in her life. One night, a heavy storm rolled in, with thunder crashing and lightning flashing across the sky. The wind howled, and rain poured down in sheets. Eleanor and Bella were inside, listening to the storm rage outside. Suddenly, a loud crash was heard from the backyard. Eleanor grabbed a flashlight and went to investigate, Bella following close behind. In the dark, Eleanor saw that a large tree branch had fallen, blocking the door. They were trapped inside. Eleanor tried to stay calm, but fear began to creep in. Bella sensed her anxiety and stayed close, offering comfort with her presence. Together, they worked to clear the branch, using all their strength and determination. It was a tough task, but Bella never gave up. She dug her paws into the ground, helping Eleanor move the heavy branch. Finally, with a great effort, they managed to clear the door. The rain had softened the ground, making it easier to move the branch. Eleanor and Bella were safe, thanks to their teamwork and Bella's unwavering support. As the storm passed, the sky cleared, and the first light of dawn appeared. Eleanor hugged Bella tightly, grateful for her bravery once again. Bella wagged her tail, happy to have helped her grandma through another difficult moment. Together, they watched the sunrise, knowing that no matter what challenges came their way, they would face them together. Life continued to be peaceful and happy for Eleanor and Bella. They cherished each day, knowing how lucky they were to have each other. The neighborhood remained strong, united by the example set by Bella's bravery and love. Everyone felt a little safer, a little happier, knowing that such a wonderful dog was watching over them. Bella's story was one of courage, love, and loyalty. She had saved her grandma's purse, but more importantly, she had saved their sense of safety and community. Eleanor and Bella continued to live their lives filled with joy and companionship, always ready to support each other no matter what. In the end, Bella was more than just a dog. She was a hero, a friend, and a beloved member of the family. Her actions had brought everyone closer, showing that even the smallest among us can make the biggest difference. And as long as Bella was by her side, Eleanor knew that she would always be protected and loved. Bella lay down beside Eleanor that night, her head resting on her grandma's lap. Eleanor stroked her fur gently, whispering words of thanks and love. Bella closed her eyes, feeling happy and content, knowing that she had done her best to keep her grandma safe. Together, they drifted off to sleep, dreaming of peaceful days and the unbreakable bond they shared. Their story was a reminder to everyone in the neighborhood that love and loyalty could overcome any challenge. Bella's bravery had changed their lives, bringing hope and strength to all who knew her. And as the stars twinkled above, Eleanor and Bella slept peacefully, surrounded by the love and gratitude of their community. From that day on, whenever someone felt scared or alone, they thought of Bella and how she had stood up against the robbers. Her courage inspired them to be brave and kind, just like she was. Bella had shown that even in the darkest times, there is always hope and someone looking out for you. Eleanor and Bella continued to live happily, their days filled with love, laughter, and the comfort of knowing they had each other. Bella remained a loyal and loving companion, always ready to protect and care for her grandma. Their hearts were forever connected, a testament to the incredible bond between a grandma and her brave dog. And so, the story of Grandma Eleanor and Bella the dog became a beloved tale in the neighborhood, a story of courage, love, and the special bond that can change lives forever. Bella's legacy lived on, reminding everyone that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and that true bravery comes from the heart.